discount incentives for new cars with a capacity of 1,500 to 2,500 cc. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani explained that the tax discount will only take effect in early April 2021. This is because the Finance Ministry is still completing the process of finalizing the Minister of Finance regulation or its implementing regulations. The incentive proposal this time still has the main criteria, namely the domestic component level of at least 70%.
Untuk memfinalisasi peraturan Menteri Keuangannya yang nanti bisa berlaku mulai bulan April, terutama untuk yang di atas 1.500 hingga 2.500 cc. Nanti kita akan umumkan begitu sudah selesai PMK-nya.
The tax discount expansion was given based on the direction of President Joko Widodo with the hope that the automotive industry and its derivatives can experience a faster recovery. This is because the motor vehicle industry and its derivatives have a significant contribution to the manufacturing sector. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Government's decision to import 3 million tons of salt is expected to have prudent plan. Professor plus head of Biotech Center at IPB, Dwi Andreas, stated that it is necessary for Indonesia to import salt since its salt domestic production is fluctuative and unpredictable cause weather factor contributes much for salt harvesting in Indonesia. However, this should be done without harming local salt producer. He further said that actually the need for domestic salt every year can be calculated. However, from production side, it goes contradictory. Fluctuations in domestic salt production cannot be predicted due to weather factors that greatly affect salt harvesting. Even so, Dwi said domestic salt production would increase in 2021. For that, Dwi asked the government to carefully calculate the need for salt imports with domestic salt production by local salt farmers. This is important so that salt imports will not suppress local salt farmers.
2020 kemarin menurun drastis dibanding tahun 2019. Tahun 2019 itu impornya sekitar 2,6 juta ton, lalu di tahun 2020 impornya turun menjadi sekitar 2 juta ton, ya hampir sama sebenarnya, turun sedikit, 2,6 juta ton tapi turun sedikit. Dan ini barangkali bagi pihak industri kondisi stok garam nasional ini kurang memadai untuk produksinya. Tapi yang harus saya tambahkan, saya mengingatkan, produksi garam.
Market Headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Kita melihat sebenarnya ada dua problem yang sebenarnya root problemnya adalah tidak mengerti kondisi keuangannya, dan yang kedua adalah untuk mencari tahu informasi online untuk mengetahui sebenarnya what to do with their money, itu kadang-kadang suka membingungkan.
Indeks harga saham gabungan bergerak fluktuatif.
Nilai tukar rupiah terhadap dolar Amerika Serikat sedikit mengalami apresiasi.
Bagaimana dengan target pertumbuhan ekonomi Indonesia di kuartal 1 tahun ini?
Sehingga pada kuartal 1 tahun 2021 diperkirakan ekonomi akan mengalami kontraksi, akan mengalami penurunan.
Faktor-faktor utama dalam penolakan dari Uni Eropa terkait produk sawit Indonesia.
Indonesia disebut belum mampu menerapkan standar lingkungan yang cukup dan juga standar keberlanjutan yang cukup.
Welcome back. Jakarta Propertindo stated that the Formula E Jakarta or Jakarta E-Prix is planned to be held in 2022 after previously being delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, for the sake of this event, the Jakarta provincial government is known to have paid almost 1 trillion rupiah to Formula E operation or FEO.
Jakarta Propertindo stated that the Formula E Jakarta or Jakarta E-Prix is planned to be held in 2022 after previously being delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Jakpro revealed that the organizers continue to hold discussions with the private sectors and related parties for the success of this international standard event. In fact, the organizers are still considering several locations that have the potential to showcase the city branding and icons of the city of Jakarta. Even though there were a number of rejections, Jakpro's Port Payment Project Director M. Maulana claimed that the Jakarta E-Prix was considered to be materially and immaterially beneficial. He said by hosting Formula E, Jakarta was included in the list of very special cities, parallel to New York, Mexico, Rome, and Paris. The Jakarta E-Prix event is even believed to be one of the triggers for the revival of the economy of Jakarta and Indonesia, which has been slumped by the global COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the Supreme Audit Agency or BPK disclosed the results of the audit where it was found that the Jakarta provincial government had made payments to Formula E operation or FEO for organizing the event valued at £53 million or equivalent to 983.31 billion rupiah in 2019 to 2020. IDX Channel team report.
After experiencing delays since last June 2020, the Jakarta Formula E or the Jakarta E-Prix is rumored to be held in 2022. Despite the pros and cons, the provincial or Jakarta provincial government said it would still make efforts to make this international standard event a success. But before going further, let's take a look at the data about the Jakarta E-Prix event in the first graphic. It was planned to take place on June 6, 2020, involving 24 races from 12 teams. The 2.58 kilometer circuit is located in the Jakarta National Monument area. The Jakarta provincial government has allocated a budget of 1.6 trillion rupiah for the Jakarta E-Prix event. Regional-owned enterprise Jakarta Propertindo or Jakpro was appointed as the executing organizer. Deputy Governor of Jakarta, Ahmad Riza Patria, said that the implementation of the Formula E event has become a program of the Jakarta provincial government and has gone through a long process. The implementation of Formula E has also entered the budgeting program and process and has gone through research studies conducted by independent consultants. So the Deputy Governor believes that the implementation of the racing event has gone through a good and correct process. Meantime, on the other hand, until now, Jakpro is the organizer, has not yet determined a new location that will be used as the Jakarta E-Prix 2022 circuit because it is still under consideration. And not only that, Jakpro also ensures that the commitment fees that have been paid are not forfeited. And regarding the payment of the commitment fee, how much has the Jakarta provincial government paid to the Formula E operation of or FEO? We'll see the detail on the next graphic. These are the funds that have been paid to FEO for the Jakarta E-Prix. 20 million pounds sterling, equivalent to 360 billion rupiah paid in 2019. Meantime, another 11 million pounds sterling, equivalent to 200.31 billion rupiah paid in 2020. And the bank guarantee 22 million pounds sterling, equivalent to 423 billion rupiah. The total as much as 53 million, as you can see, pounds sterling, and equivalent to 983.31 billion rupiah. And the negotiation has been carried out regarding the withdrawal of bank guarantee funds has been approved by FEO on May 13, 2020. And various claims regarding the economic impact of the Formula E event have emerged. One of them from the Jakarta Propertindo as the organizer. The Jakarta provincial-owned company say that Formula E would have a direct impact on the economy in the range of 500 to 600 billion rupiah. President Director of Jakpro, Dwi Wahyu Daryoto, said that the economic impact came from the arrival of the Formula E operations or FEO team, which numbered around 2,000 people. They will stay for a week in Indonesia to prepare for the Formula E event. We also said that the indirect economic impact of the Formula E event for one day could boost the gross domestic product by up to 0.02%. He said that the growth came from expanding tourism due to Formula E. However, this claim is not just accepted by many parties. Even economists have criticized it. We will see more clearly later in the last graphic, but before that, we will go to the third graphic, which is about the fundings of the Supreme Audit Agency regarding the implementation of the Jakarta E-Pre. This is the opinion of Supreme Audit Agency or BPK on the Jakarta E-Pre. The executing organizer, Jakpro, are considered to have not been optimal in renegotiating with the Formula E operation or FEO related to cooperation and the status of funds that have been deposited. The executing organizer, Jakpro, cannot independently manage Formula E events. Activities supporting the implementation of Formula E run the risk of overlapping several task forces, increased risk of failure in organizing events, and the calculation of the estimated economic impact of the implementation of Formula E is less reasonable. And from these findings, the Supreme Audit Agency recommended that Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan instruct the head of the Youth and Sport Agency to compile a design for the involvement of the parties, develop options for obtaining independent financing and revenue management plan, because BPK assesses that there is no clarity regarding the distribution of funding that can be continues to burden the Jakarta provincial budget. Then the head of the Youth and Sports Service and the director of Jakpro to be more intensive in clarifying the continuation of activities and making plans to anticipate obstacles that will arise, as well as to evaluate the results of the feasibility study reliably and adjust to the latest conditions of the impact of COVID-19. Apart from these findings, various parties also had pros and cons, one of which was economists. We'll see his opinion in the next graphic. This is M. Maulana, Project Director Sportainment of Jakarta Propertindo. He said that the Jakarta E-Pre 2022 will be one of the triggers for the revival of the economy of Jakarta and Indonesia, which has been slumped due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. Meantime, Karunia Mulya Firdausi, the economist of LIPI, he said that it would be better if it was cancelled, if it was just a postponing or positioning, because it would not have a double impact, but be it economically, consumption, or investment. Economist Karunia Firdausi says that the Formula E Jakarta event is more suitable to be called a stage-looking event rather than an event that can generate economic benefits, because the build Jakarta's attractiveness, it doesn't have to be such electric car racing or Formula E. There are many ways that Jakarta can have a good name in the world and not have to spend hundreds of billions of rupiah during the COVID-19 pandemic. That is why Firdausi proposed that the Jakarta provincial government to cancel the Jakarta E-Pre. Not over with the economic impact, the Jakarta E-Pre event in the National Monument area has also drawn controversy from cultural heritage experts. The head of the Jakarta provincial government's cultural heritage expert team, Mundarjito, questioned that the ethics of implementing Formula E at Monas. Even previously, the cultural heritage expert team denied that they had made recommendation for the implementation of the electric car racing, as the mentioned in the letter of the government or governor of Jakarta province to the Ministry of State Secretariat. If indeed the estimated economic impact of the Jakarta E-Pre is in accordance with the calculation then we need to appreciate it. But if there are indeed many rejections, problems here and there related to the implementation, then isn't it wiser to carry out an evaluation or even the toughest decision to cancel it? And stay with us because we'll be right back after the break.
Kita mau address salah satu masalah khususnya untuk milenial dan Gen Z yang sering aku temukan sebelumnya.
Platform ini sendiri, peluangnya di Indonesia seperti apa sih dibandingkan dengan negara maju?
Potensi ini sangat besar sekali karena dari marketnya mungkin awareness-nya juga masih cukup rendah kalau kita lihat lagi dari segi literasi keuangan. Jadi kalau misalnya semakin banyak atau orang yang aware mengenai literasi keuangan, semakin juga kan mengenai manajemen keuangan ini.
And we're on the last segment at the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was opened at the level of 6,159.62, and then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,098.28. Then the index was showing a weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,112.88. In short, JCI went down 0.54%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got infrastructure as a leader of the strengthening trend that went up 1.14%. Basic industry went up 0.32%. And finance, as the leader of the weakening trend, went down 1.37%. Construction went down 1.25%. Moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. ERA went up 8.08% to the level of 2,810 rupiah per share. ISET or Indosat went up 8.54% to the level of 6,675 rupiah per share. BRMS went up 7.95% to the level of 95 rupiah per share. BEBS went up 25% to the level of 600 rupiah per share. Meantime, the top losers in today's trading, we got BBCA went down 1.09% to the level of 31,850 rupiah per share. BBRI went down 1.07% to the level of 4,620 rupiah per share. BMRI went down 0.39% to the level of 6,400 rupiah per share. And Agro went down 6.87% to the level of 1,085 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Opened at the level of 14,464 rupiah, was also showing a weakening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,431. In summary, rupiah went down 0.29%. And step aside from market condition as coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situation. And here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business and capital market channel. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.